Hello guys, welcome to Asian Petrolhead. It is October 25th here in Korea. It's about 11 a.m. so good morning to you guys. And one of you guys, let's see, what was it? Robert? Was it? No. Okay, yeah. Elebo wanted me to teach him how to say Hyundai properly in the comment section, and it's actually Hyundai. It's not Hyundai or Hyundai. It's Hyundai. You gotta make the end short, like a Hyundai. So it's Hyundai. Okay, so welcome guys. Welcome to another episode of a live session. Yesterday, as I told you through the story, I attended premiere of all-new Hyundai Grandeur, also sold as the Azeras in United States and many of the North American markets. And you know, they're gonna introduce Grandeur, the Azera, here in Korea next month, actually on November. So I just really wanted to show you the design because they invited a few of us journalists to their R&D center, and which is located in Namyang, about an hour and 30 minutes from Seoul. So I really wanted to show you. And while I was there, I also asked because I thought you guys would be very curious, I asked the Hyundai folks, head designer, Mr. Lee Sang-yup, and yeah, I asked, would you consider bringing back the Azera to United States, the Grandeur as Azera back to United States? And he said they would love to. You know, they built really put lots of effort to it, and they would love to sell it globally. And but what I heard is just like Palisade, they're gonna introduce the car first here in home market, and then they found that if they do well here in Korea, it seems that they do well everywhere. So they're gonna launch it first here in Korea, and then take a look at the how the sales go here, and then they're gonna change that. I also asked the designer. They said all the laws and regulations is made for this, just for this Korean market. So they're gonna have to make some few minor changes, so that it goes along with your laws and regulations around the North American markets, Europe, and so on. And then they would love to introduce it. So it wasn't big no, but it wasn't big yes either. So let's wait and see how they do, and hope they do bring it, because the interior is very, very lovely. And before we begin, please do support us by subscribing to our channel, and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. And it seems like our channel has been growing with your support, and I would also like to thank you one more time for everyone's support. So before we begin, I'd just like to share the teaser video that Hyundai rolled out here in Korea, just to let you know what it would look like. Okay. Okay, how do you guys like the teaser image? That's actually sixth generation facelift they're promoting there. And unfortunately, we only have 4 photos because, like I said, it took place yesterday at Namyang R&D Center, which is their main R&D center located in Hwaseong, which is about an hour, 30 minutes drive from Seoul. Because it's their main headquarters, they have all these test cars, camouflage, driving around. So, we weren't allowed any cameras, and of course they taped our smartphones front and back, so we couldn't really. I wanted to really badly, but we could not take any pictures. So unfortunately, but we have 4 photos sent from Hyundai as a press kit. So we're gonna let's work with what we have for now. Actually, you're looking at the front design of the 6th generation facelift of the Azera or Grandeur. Tell me, what do you guys think about it? And first time I saw it, I was like, the photo, it's better than the photo actually, to start with. And when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, that's Grandeur. And that's what many journalists said. And we asked, Mr. Lee Sang-yup, why did you take such a bold step? And he said, world is changing very fastly, and they don't want to make Russian dolls. They, make a same car on every family car, but they rather wanted to give a character on each car, and that's why they gave it this cool looking. But I just really want to know, that's why, whether you guys like it or hate it, whether you think it's futuristic or too much. So guys, let me know in the comment section. And we're doing this live, so if you do have any questions, let us know through the comment section, and we'll try to answer as much as we can. And this actually the Grandeur was actually based on Le Fil Rouge concept, which was first released in the 2018 Geneva Motor Show. And according to the designers, new Sonata was based on this concept, and new Grandeur is based on this concept. And and at the end of the show, they premiered. They also showed us like a 5-minute video showing what the design will be like. And on the SUV, family cars, sedans, and everything, they seems to be applying this Le Fil Rouge concept with the parametric grille in the center and the very sharp-looking hood line and the headlamp. So, Mr. Lee Sang-yup said, the head of the Hyundai Design higher-ranking officer said, this Grandeur and Sonata and Grandeur is just beginning of this new design theme. So he said, stay tuned for more to come. So, so that was actually, I just wanted to show you the thing. The hood line, first of all, because it's a lot bigger car, it had a longer and wider hood line with more volume. But if you do take a look closely, the line of the hood line looks very similar to new Sonata. It looks very clean, and if you see it's kind of dark, but if you do see the grille, headlamp, and everything, it seems to be drawn in a one sheet, right? It seems it's not perfectly same, but if you do kind of see it from far away, it looks like it's integrated into one piece totally. And if Sonata had like a DRL that comes from the hood to the around the headlamp, this guy only has it on the if you see on each side of the inner side of the headlamp, it's got 5 hidden type DRL. So just like Sonata, if during the day it will just be like one of the diamond patterns on the center of grille, but when you turn it on, your headlamp or DRL, it will just be there, 5. So I really like to know what you guys think about it. Well, I really like to give Hyundai a big thumbs up for testing new materials, because I never seen such a thing. Even on the Sonata, I was very surprised how they made it like that, because it just looks like a chrome strip, but when you turn it on, it becomes like a DRL. So I was very surprised, and I think it's a very bold move and a very good thing. And I also asked designers what happens. Actually, they didn't show us, but I asked, where's the turn signal? And they said, I don't know if you can see it. I'm a bad drawer, sorry, but because it's this in the center does not blink, but on the floor, on the outside, just blinks, because they took out this one because they didn't want it to look like an error, because it would point the other direction, right? Because to the right, it would go this way. So that's how they said it would work. So. Okay, so, and on the bottom, you cannot really see it, but on the bottom of the grille, It's got mesh type grille that looks like made of plastic, and on the also air curtains are made of mesh type grille that's also made of plastic. Like I said, in the middle it's got diamond pattern grilles, and in the center there's Hyundai logo with radar sensor, and around the logo about 40% of the whole grille is open to cool off the air. So guys, let me know what do you think about the design in the comments section, and let me just read some of your comments, okay? So lots of you guys tuned in. Thank you very much. So I really wanted to show it to you because I wanted to actually have a full review on the Azera 2019 Azera, but because the model was too old, they got rid of the test car, and you know, I was invited to the premiere, so you know, I just really wanted to share with you guys. Yes, we don't need to be biased with the design. It's just you know, I kind of want to give them credit for their new trial. Hello, Jepiris. You live in Australia? No, I live in Korea. This is actually live from Korea. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Thank you, Putkochimandu. Thank you. And yes, I'm glad you guys like it because when I first looked at the spy photo, I was like, what is that? You know, but when I looked at it in person, it looks very nice. And most of all, the interior, I'm going to talk about it pretty soon. Interior, I would like to give 10 out of 10. For the price, I mean, I don't think there's any, you know, competition. Not even, well, Hyundai doesn't compete with Lexus, right? But if you compare it to other makers, Toyota, Ford, GMs, and everybody, I don't think they will ever have a better interior. And that's what I thought. You're looking at it, okay? Okay, so let's continue. Just leave us a comment what you want to see, and we'll just keep continuing on. Okay, let's look at we only have 3 photos left, so let's make it count. Okay, so this is actually the side profile. They didn't give us much photos, but can you really see it? Although Hyundai is calling it 6th generation facelift, because when they just introduced the 6th generation 3 years ago. That's why they're calling it facelift. But I think they will have no problem calling it 7th generation or a brand new car, because they changed everything: interior, front design, back design. They took new side character lines, and they even stretched the wheelbase and overall length, and so they have a larger greenhouse, new C-pillar, so they do everything. So when I talked to the designer, they said, you know, they hate to call this facelift because they worked really hard on it, and I do agree with that, because you know, it's a brand new car, and I hope they bring it to US, because I think you guys will love it. So yes, like I said, the wheelbase has been stretched by 1.5 inches, and overall length was stretched by 2.3 inches. And new rims, and the show car seems to, I wrote it down, seems to have a 245/40 by 19 on front and back. Then it was wrapped around with Michelin tires, and very nice. And like I said, because the wheelbase was stretched, you know, the C-pillar had a longer C-pillar, and the designer said they really wanted to make it a little bit thicker to give it a more premium look. And they also reworked the rear window that goes like narrow on the bottom as it goes toward the bottom, to give it a more sporty feel, because nowadays Hyundai is really pushing a sensuous sportiness, you know, so they really wanted to give this elegance look to the car, and while keeping it as very sporty. And you know, I really like the side and the back. I'm not really sure about the front, but I think it will, if we give it some time, I think it will grow on us. So that's what it looks like from the side. Let me also show you the inside. This is actually the one more time. We have two more photos. Okay, so let's make it count. Okay. So, like I said, this wheelbase has been increased by 1.4 inches, was 1.5 inches. So, you know, I'm 6'2", and when I sat on the back seat, it was very, very comfortable. You know, it had very cushy headrest and a very nice armrest, and you know, just very similar to Cadenza's. It had media controls on the armrest and cup holder that kind of pushes outward. And in the what do you call it? Under the armrest, there was one USB charging port and one 12-volt charging, and all the manual, but it had a manual sunshade for the side, just like the Sonata, and two-stage heated seats, air vents for the second row passengers. It had a big old panoramic sunroof on the top. So it looks very similar to Sonata layout, but way more luxurious. It had very nice leather all the way. They didn't say which leather. I'm guessing it's going to be Napa leather, but it's got covered with the leather and wood trim on the upper part, but little plastics on the bottom. But it was even on the second row seats, it seemed a little bit larger or equal or larger compared to the Cadenza. I think I had a better headroom than Cadenza on the Grandeur. So it was very nice. And if you see it on front, the front driver's side is a very nice place to be. It also had 12.3-inch gauge cluster and 12.3 infotainment screen. Same size as the Cadenza, but the layout was much, much better compared to the Cadenza. It almost looked like a Mercedes E-Class-ish. The gauge cluster and the what do you call it? The infotainment screen was you know, just right next to each other, and although it had a bezel around the infotainment screen, it almost looked like a Mercedes E-Class. So very, very premium looking, and it also got the I don't know how many inches, maybe 4 inches or 5 inches separate color LCD for the climate control. So the buttons were mostly made out of physical buttons and dials, so it was very clean looking and probably very easy to use, and not many black high glossy materials. I like that. It was just on the around the climate controls, so that's also a very nice thing. And it also has shift by wire system on the bottom, and just like a Palisade, but looks more premium. I think it was covered with leather, you know, but Palisade has it with some sort of you know, simulated metal looking things on it. So there was also wireless charging pad. You know, it's not on the top of kind of deal, but you kind of slide it in just like a Genesis G90. Looks very nice too. And if you see, there's under the gear selector, there's also some room for the so you can leave some stuff under there too. And I think there was 112-volt charging under there too. It also got what do you call it? Moon lamp, 64 colors on the dashboard and around the door trims, and also let's say this is gear selector, push button gear selector. It was around right here on the side too. So that I mean, we didn't have it time to look at it under dark conditions, but that should look very, very nice. And if you've seen 2019 Azera, they used to have a little small clock right next to the end of the infotainment screen, but this one got rid of it. And I asked the designer, why did you take it out? And they said, you know, because it's all digitalized, the clock's there, so they don't need it, so they took it out. So, all right, the interior is very nice place to be. Even one of the show car had a tan color, and the steering was dual tone, so that looked quite sexy too. So, guys, let me know. They didn't tell us about the powertrain or, you know, what kind of ADAS driving aids they're gonna have, but I'm guessing they're going to load it with everything they got because this is flagship sedan from Grandeur. Okay, so if you do have any questions about the interior, let's talk about it now. Okay, so let me just take a look at your comments. Yeah. Oh, okay. So. Oh, what? You talked about it? They said they're going to bring this end of February? Wow, that's a very nice thing. Wow. Hello, Eddie. Hello, X-Car. Yes, the interior, like I said, I want to give them 10 out of 10 because, you know, Cadenza had a very nice interior too, I would have to agree. But this one is something nicer. It's very nice. Yeah, someone's trying to make me laugh, but you know, I try to keep it down. Okay, so yeah, do leave us questions, and also let me show you the rear design. This is the last photo we have. So what do they have for the rear design? I think let me just show you this thing again. It was somewhere around here, right? Do you see it? Did you see that? So, okay, let's talk about the rear design. The designers really, like I said, they almost made this full change. I think this should be considered full change. The designer said they also taken the trunk deck and made it shorter, and they overall made the car lower to give it a more sporty feel to it. And if you do, if you know if you have seen the 2019 year model, I'm a bad drawer. I'm sorry. It looked like a Dodge Durango. It had like a sunglass type looking, kind of like a cricket oval. Do you see it? Design. But this time they just kind of drew it single line. But where the LED tail lamp sits, it kind of came out of the body, you know, actually about this much. So it's like a little line. Let me show you this guy. Can you see this? Yeah, it's a little bit sticking out like that. So it's very unique design, and I personally like it much better compared to the this older 2019 year model. The back is, I think I really like it, and it seems it has a dual exhaust on the bottom. It's got twin tips on each side, and the outer ones were closed. So let's just say it looked like that. It's got dual exhaust, but twin tips on each side, and the outer ones were closed, so only this inner ones would actually work as a muffler. So, and unfortunately, we didn't get access to the trunk. I don't know. They didn't let us see it. But overall, it was you know, Hyundai always makes a big trunk, so I think it will be class competitive. So that's, like I said, it really had a very nice line on the rear windshield. They said they really wanted to make it sporty, so it would look like that. So that's a very nice thing. So yeah, so I think I told you everything about the car. So if you do have any questions, let us know. Yes, I'll take GV80 this November, so I'm thinking not early November, but maybe second week or third week. If they do give us a letter invitation, I will let you know. And on the actual day, we're gonna shoot live review on it. I promise. Okay. So yes, I hope they bring this to United States, and I hope tell us what do you think about the new Grandeur, because Hyundai guys are still deciding, I think, and maybe they can refer to your comments and kind of decide we should bring it to United States. So yes, many of you kind of told us that it looks like a Civic at the Sonata's rear lamp, but this one doesn't. This one looks like looks very unique. I like the rear design better than the front design, and so I like the interior best, rear design and front design. But the front design is okay too. So, all right, guys. So, N version coming out. I don't think they're gonna make it on Azeras. But I heard they're gonna make it some next year N9 Sonata first. So let's see. They're gonna have a Kona N and a few other models. So let's see. Yes. I don't know. Easy Kia one hand. That's also one thing they really wanted to make this sedan very sexy and very aggressive looking, because SUVs are just taking all the sales away from the sedan, and not only Hyundai, Lexus and everything, they're making it very aggressively on their sedans because they want to attract more buyers coming back to sedans. Okay, so anything else? So let's see. White one looks nice, like the black one. Yes, the black one looks nice too, and yeah. I like the white one too. They also showed us, you're probably talking about this guy. There, yes, this guy. White one looks good. The interior, I saw one with black and one with tan, and I, if you ever have to buy one, I would strongly suggest you buy the tan, because that really looks premium. So very nice. So what do we got? Yes, Sonata is making an N9. Yes, yes. I think they're gonna make an N9 Sonata, so that would compete against TRD Camry. Yeah. Engine choice. I asked them, and they said they cannot tell us yet. So right now here in Korea, Cadenza or K7 is sold with 2.5 liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine, 3 liter V6, and a hybrid, and also LPI model. But so I think they're gonna use that model. So it also has 8-speed automatic. So I think the major one is 3.0 V6 with 8-speed automatic. Okay. G70, well, I haven't had time to check that yet, but yeah. So this pricing has been given yet, but I think it will start around 30K, climbing all the way up to end of 30K, I think. Okay, so. All right, so do ask me questions. I'll try to answer them as much as I know. Yes, 2.5 liter turbo would be very nice. And to give you some updates, we're gonna have finally our long-term test car coming next Monday. So stay tuned for that. We have been waiting for that car about over 7 months. So there was actually a delay in the production. So we'll try to show you the car maybe Wednesday or so. Very excited to have a long-term car. If we have a long-term car, it's very nice because we can show you much more, without time constraining. So looking very forward to that. And also next Monday we're gonna have a Sedona Carnival coming to our Kia Carnival coming to our office. So it's gonna be a nine-seater with 2.2 liter diesel. So I never had a chance to show you Sedona, so I'm gonna do that next Monday. And then on the following weekend, weekday, November 4th, we're gonna have a Hyundai Kona hybrid coming. So stay tuned for that. And I think we're going to have lots of cars being introduced here in Korea. We're expecting to have Genesis GV80 on November. This guy, Azera, Hyundai Grandeur on November, and also K5 Optima, maybe on November or maybe December. So we're going to have lots of cars being introduced here in Korea. So stay tuned, guys. And you know, also before we end, please do subscribe to our channel and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Okay, so yeah, let me know if you have any more questions. Yes, glad you like it, Eddie. I was quite a little bit worried about the front design, but you know, they have used new materials, looking very nice. Looks a little bit, the front design looks a little bit like a Mercedes EQ electric cars. You know, it's got that grille in the middle that looks like a electric car, so sort of. But looks pretty nice. Glad you got it, like it. Next generation Tucson, yes, I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit for more about that too. Okay. So I think the gauge cluster on G70 will be standard. I'm not really sure for the US and 40 markets, but here in Korea, they're offering like a 3D gauge cluster as an option, but you know, I didn't really like it because, you know, it's, you know, I just like the, you know, I rather like to have it like a 12.3, you know, infotainment screen. I mean, the gauge cluster, which is digital, full digital, that looks very nice. Okay. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, please do support us by subscribing to our channel and also hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos. I just really wanted to show you guys the new Hyundai Grandeur because, you know, first they invited us to their premiere. It was actually for the first time we're going into the Namyang R&D Center for such a premiere. So really wanted to share with you guys, and yeah, so I guess I will see you. We also have Sonata Turbo, Sensuous, almost ready. So I think we're gonna upload that next Monday. So stay tuned for that as well. I left this too long. Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next Monday. Okay, bye bye, guys.